All right, welcome everybody to this webinar being put on by SAP Hybris and Zaelab. We appreciate you joining. This is a webinar that will be recorded, so just please be aware. And my name is David Ebel. I'll take you through sort of the introductions here, through the agenda for today, and tell you a little more about what we're going to do here. So in this webinar today, we're going to be giving you an introduction of a little overview of Zaelab, SAP Gold Partner. We'll then talk a little bit about SAP Hybris Commerce Edge Edition and how that new licensing structure and equipped with Zaelab solutions are making the implementation and licensing more feasible for the SMB market. Then we'll get into why small and medium-sized businesses and enterprises should be considering SAP Hybris before making the upgrade to Magento 2.0. And finally, we'll take a look at the Zaelab Conversion Kit, the automated solution for migrating from Magento to Hybris in 90 days. So, means of introduction, my name is David Ebel. I'm Vice President of Zaelab. Been with Zaelab here for about 3 months now. And my background is in building global digital practices, formerly with Acuity Group, and then most recently Cross2 and PFS Web.
Thank you very much, David. Good afternoon, everyone. We appreciate your attendance. My name is Evan Klein. I'm the founder and CEO of Zaelab. As David mentioned, we're a digital commerce consultancy. We're an SAP Gold partner, and I've been in the digital commerce space originally with solutions like Magento and IBM WebSphere, and now much more focused on SAP Hybris. And we're very excited to share some of what we've built to help companies that are looking to transition from Magento to SAP Hybris in an accelerated time frame. Seema.
Thank you, Evan. Thank you, David, and thank you for inviting me to do this webinar with Zaelab and your team. Hello, everyone. My name is Seema Thomas. I work at SAP, focused in SAP Hybris Group on Hybris Commerce. I'm responsible for solution strategy of customer engagement and commerce portfolio. And I also head up North America go-to-market strategy. And in my free time, which is very hard to come by, I also teach in Villanova School of Business. So happy to be here. Back to you, Evan.
Thank you very much, Seema. Great. So what I'd first like to do is introduce Zaelab, who we are and why we're here. So Zaelab, as I mentioned, is a digital commerce consultancy. We're a go-to SAP Gold partner focused on the SAP Hybris platform. We've been working on the SAP Hybris platform well before it was part of SAP. So for the last 5 years, our teams have been behind 30+ successful implementations of SAP Hybris for both B2B and B2C customers. We work with an array of both SMB customers as well as enterprise customers. Our team has certified consultants across the globe. We deliver out of our headquarters are based in Westport, Connecticut, but we do have a global delivery methodology with help accelerate implementations. Our major differentiator and success in the marketplace has been our continuous delivery methodology, a much more lean and agile approach to delivering these complicated commerce solutions and help remove some of the technical obstacles from typical commerce implementations. So just a real quick overview of our services. Really, we focus around 2 main areas: commerce experiences and commerce platforms. Our strategy and design teams help design differentiated user experience. Our platform implementation teams help implement scalable architectures and digital commerce platforms. Almost all of our solutions are hosted in the cloud with Amazon Web Services. And a key area that we've expanded into recently is what we call intelligent connectivity. We've been working with many customers who have the SAP Hybris platforms, particularly manufacturers that want to take their smart machines and manufacture devices and integrate them into the SAP Hybris platform. As an example, we're working with one global manufacturer and one SMB manufacturer that are taking their manufacturing products and integrating that into SAP Hybris for automated reordering. Seema, I'd love to pass it over to you to introduce SAP for those of you who don't know.
Sure, thank you. So SAP, as I may be aware, is focused on creating enterprise application software. SAP was founded in 1972 by few ex-IBM employees. And do you know, Evan, why SAP is called SAP?
I don't. That would be a great fact to share.
Exactly. So the SAP name came from the initial name that was given by the original founders, and it was called System Analysis and Program Development. As a result, the name SAP, to shorten it up. So anyways, it's been a great journey since 1972. Today, SAP consists of around 77 employees worldwide. It is headquartered in Germany, Waldorf specifically, and the large application portfolio from SAP caters to around 11 lines of businesses and about 25 plus industry. So there is a huge portfolio, and there are about 300,000 plus customers that are served by SAP, and that number of customers is increasing at an exponential rate. The latest innovation in the SAP portfolio, or progression rather, is S/4HANA. That is the next generation enterprise application powered by in-memory database SAP HANA. SAP is in the process of becoming the largest cloud company in the world, which runs on SAP HANA and caters to diverse group of customers. And please note, as I mentioned, there are 300,000 plus customers. 80%, more than 80% of SAP customers are actually SME customers. It may be surprising to you. So maybe could we go to the next slide, please? So how SAP is able to cater to 80% of their customer base that falls in the SME area? That is because the large enterprise application suite that used to take months to deploy is no longer, it falls in the same category where it takes months to deploy SAP applications. The latest SAP applications serving the enterprise and the customers are actually modular, and they're easy to consume and deploy. So the deployment time is not in months, but it is in weeks. So you can realize the value quickly, you can see the results quickly and show successes, and then you can expand on the solution to grow as your business grows. So as a result, the solutions are easy to consume, they are scalable, and they are still based on the single strong platform that SAP applications are famous for. And if we can go to the next slide, all the solutions that are available in the SAP portfolio are going through the digitization journey. So these solutions are basically available on digital platform to anywhere and any geographic locations on any device at any time of the day in real time. So as the economy is becoming a digital economy, SAP's solution portfolio is also becoming digital ready. So how does SAP Hybris helps you to be digital ready for your customers and for your business and your customers' businesses? So SAP Hybris basically delivers solutions that provide consistent information that is contextual and relevant to what your customers may be looking for at any given time. And let's not forget, data as we know it is changing and growing with everyday innovations, from generating data from different sources, which are structured data. Structured data is coming from your applications that are housed inside in your offices, like CRM, SCM, any of the other applications that you may be running on. And then unstructured data that is coming from social media, like Twitter, Facebook, and any other channels that you are interacting with. So this compilation of data from structured sources as well as unstructured sources can create a very large problem in terms of how do you turn that data into information. And that orchestration is available in SAP portfolio solution, where you can combine the data, which is the fuel for today's economy, and combine that with the complicated business processes that you may have, or even simple business processes that you may have. And combination of this data and processes is supported by the SAP Hybris solution portfolio, which is omni-channel, supported on open infrastructure, and scalable platform. So for those of you who may not be aware, SAP Hybris portfolio consists of 5 different solution areas. SAP Hybris Commerce, focusing on commerce piece of interactions. Another part is SAP Hybris Marketing, focused on marketing processes like segmentation, campaign management, interacting with sales and services areas. SAP Hybris Service Management, which is taking care of high-touch as well as low-touch service areas. SAP Hybris Sales, which focuses on Salesforce automation processes. And last but not least, SAP Hybris Billing, which focuses on complex billing scenarios, for example, subscription billing or usage-based billing. So this solution portfolio in a nutshell is omni-channel. You can access any of these solutions on any device at any time, and this solution portfolio integrates with any of the back office applications that you may have or your customers may have in in-house, and that integration is seamless. So could we move to the next slide, please, Evan, to discuss the Hybris portfolio?
Great, thank you. Thank you, Seema, for that high-level overview of the entire SAP Hybris portfolio. So what I wanted to do as well is focus a little bit specifically on the SAP Hybris Commerce Suite, as that is the key component of today's conversation. So if you look at the SAP Hybris Commerce Suite, one of the major differentiators, if you look at the other platforms in the marketplace, is that the Commerce Suite really provides end-to-end omni-channel tooling. And what I mean by that is it is the most comprehensive solution in the marketplace and provides tooling for the entire omni-channel journey, including everything from product management through order management and everything in between, like customer service and personalization. So really, Hybris was built not just to support front-end websites, but really to incorporate all the different components that are required to run any sort of digital B2B or B2C digital commerce organization in this complex era, in this digital era. One of the other things about Hybris is, unlike many platforms in the marketplace that have evolved over time and through acquisitions, one of the unique aspects of Hybris when compared with some of the other platforms in the marketplace is that SAP Hybris is really a single homogeneous stack of technologies, right? And what does that mean? That means for an end customer is that you're really going to get one platform with everything that is fully integrated and seamless to use. And so this provides benefit to customers in that they don't have to have a lot of complex integrations between their commerce components. It's one single seamless integrated solution. Seema, I'd love to pass it back to you to talk a little bit about the Hybris Edge Edition, which is focused specifically on SMB companies.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, and thank you for sharing the details of the Hybris Commerce Suite. So if you recall, just a little while ago, I mentioned that the transformation of larger enterprise applications to smaller consumable solutions that can be deployed in weeks, not months. So Hybris Commerce Edge Edition is one such solution, which has B2B flavor, which has a B2C flavor, and the respective business processes that are relevant for B2B and B2C are bundled together in those solutions. And these solutions are, again, backed by the same strong database and application and framework and architecture that Evan just shared in the previous slide. So think of this. This is a smaller solution with limited scope that customers can deploy quickly, get their storefront up and running, show success, and if needed, not necessarily, if needed, scale to the next level, whether that is increasing your presence in multiple geographic locations where you need multiple currencies, maybe multiple language support, which was not deployed in the first go. So Edge Edition provides that initial implementation for SMB with the right scope, at the right price point, and ease of deployment. So you can get up and running quickly, realize quick time to value, and then grow from there, because this is the same solution in the end, so this is not a new solution. Hybris Commerce Edge Edition is not a new code base. At the back of it, it is the same powerful solution as as Hybris Commerce solution. So you get the benefits of the strong solution that is proven in the marketplace, but you take the advantage of it at a smaller scale. And with this comes the infrastructure, which is available in terms of support, in terms of implementation services, in terms of deployment. And make no mistake, SAP Hybris Commerce and rest of the CE solution portfolio is more scalable in collaboration with partners like Zaelab to take this solution to our customers and make this deployment more valuable and more meaningful. So with that, over to you, Evan.
Great. Seema, thank you very much for explaining the SAP Hybris Edge solution, which we're seeing a lot of success with in the marketplace among both customers that are looking to convert from Magento, as well as smaller customers or growing enterprises, as we like to call them, that are scaling their business and need a more robust platform to support that growth. And so what we wanted to talk about today was the central topic of our webinar, is really what Zaelab has done around the Magento to SAP Hybris Conversion Kit. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the history, and the picture will make sense in a minute. But when Zaelab started in 2011, our first customer was Bonobos. For those of you that may know Bonobos, they make a really great pair of pants, men's. They claim to fame as the best fitting men's pants. And we started working with them in 2011 when they were on the enterprise version of Magento. Unfortunately for them in 2011, as you'll see the headline there in Routers, Bonobos caught with pants down on top shopping day. Unfortunately, their Magento solution couldn't scale in 2011 to meet the demand that they had. And as a result, the site went down, they lost sales, and it was unfortunately not a good day for them. We were called in by the CIO at the time named Michael Hart. We partnered with Bonobos and spent the next 12 months trying to get their Magento platform into tip-shop shape. And some of the reasons that was causing the solution not to scale was their open source modules that they pulled from the marketplace unfortunately weren't built with scale in mind. So we were forced to really rebuild a lot of those open source extensions from scratch to ensure that they would scale with the solution. But more than that, we were forced to really go into the internals of Magento, and we were forced to implement things like caching and high technology fixes that cost a lot of time and effort to make sure that the solution would be ready to scale in the next 12 months to meet their 2012 Cyber Monday goals, which were substantially larger than 2011. And so the net for us, after working with Magento for a year, was that we were fixing a lot of problems with the platform. We were trying to spend all of our time and energy to focus on scale, that the business didn't have any time or energy to focus on the differentiation or innovation that they needed to be focused on. So things like building those features like wish lists and gift registries, or front-end features that make the shopping experience easier. Because of the core fundamental challenges we had with their platform, we were unable to actually spend the time on differentiating valuable features. And so while we know Magento is a very good platform to get up and running, what we realize is that customers that have hit a wall, customers that are really looking to grow their business, need to look to a more enterprise-oriented platform like SAP Hybris. And after our experience with Bonobos, we went out and we tried to find the leading platforms in the marketplace, which is how we came across Hybris. And so we became an SAP partner. We started implementing Hybris, and our focus over the last 12 months has really been to implement SAP Hybris for SMB companies. And as part of that, we've launched a solution set which accelerates the time to market for customers that have outgrown Magento today and are looking to scale up to a more enterprise solution with limitless growth potential like SAP Hybris. And so what exactly is our conversion kit? So first and foremost, our conversion kit is an accelerated path to migration from Magento. So it provides rapid migration of data. So everything including products, orders, customers, order history, and it also includes configuration. So all of that investment that was made in Magento can be very quickly migrated to SAP Hybris with a point-and-click conversion utility that is totally web-based. Our solution supports both B2C or B2B customers, and it supports all versions of Magento before version 1.9. And as you can see in some of our screenshots here, our solution provides advanced data mapping. So since we've built this in a really, we've actually partnered with a company and we've exclusively licensed existing cart migration technology, and we've adapted that to SAP Hybris. And as part of the tooling that we've come up with, there's an advanced application that allows us to very quickly point and click and migrate data from Magento to Hybris and do it in a matter of minutes. So the net here is that with our migration utility, we can reduce time to market. We can reduce the integration risk, which is very prevalent in most typical commerce platforms. And we can get customers up and running in just about 90 days on the SAP Hybris platform. And so our conversion kit is really a tool that can accelerate the implementation. So what I wanted to talk about next is our approach to how we would manage a migration to SAP Hybris in 90 days. So one of the first things, and as I mentioned earlier, Zaelab comes to the table with a very strong and disciplined continuous delivery methodology. And so what that means is we operate very much on agile principles, as well as we have a lot of intellectual property that helps us stand up SAP Hybris environments in the matter of minutes. And so if you look at a typical migration here on the screen, as we mentioned, 90 days is the minimum time that it takes to migrate to SAP Hybris. What you'll notice in the first week of the project is that we've already migrated the data with our conversion kit. So the business can actually start to validate that all of their data sits inside of Hybris and is correctly mapped. We stand up the environment in a cloud like Amazon Web Services, and we do a gap analysis all within the first sprint. By sprint 1, the front end is completely migrated over to SAP Hybris. And then in sprint 2 and sprint 3, we're managing some of the other integrations or some of the other configurations, such as payment providers and so forth, leading up to a user acceptance testing period. And the process, as I mentioned, can be done as little as 90 days for a complete migration from SAP Hybris, from Magento to SAP Hybris. And there's more. So as I mentioned before, our team has licensed exclusive cart migration technology. And so while we're starting with Magento, the next platform conversion kits we're going to be released are listed on the screen. As you'll see, we're quickly targeting by Q3 to have conversion kits built for Oracle ATG, IBM WebSphere, and Demandware, along with the shops that are listed below, which are ready today. So our conversion technology is going to help customers beyond Magento, and it's going to operate in the same way because of the flexible architecture and nature of how we've built the solution. So we're very excited to work with customers that are coming from multiple platforms and provide them an accelerated migration path and reduce risk to integrate with SAP Hybris. So that's the SAP Hybris, that's the Magento to SAP Hybris Conversion Kit. I appreciate everyone's time and listening. And what I wanted to do is open it up to question and answer and see if there's any questions from the audience.
So I guess while everybody else is getting their questions ready, so maybe I could ask you a quick question, Evan, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course, Seema, that would be great.
So in your opinion, what has changed that you have seen that allows the SMB companies to implement SAP Hybris offering?
That's a really good question, Seema. So there's a number of factors that are contributing to why SAP Hybris makes sense for both. It's always made sense for enterprises, but now it starts to make sense for SMBs. The first reason that I would attribute to would be the fact that Hybris Edge is now at a price point which is affordable for SMB organizations. So when you actually do the ROI against other platforms like Magento, like Demandware, SAP Hybris now makes more economic sense than it ever has. So that would be the first reason. I would say the second answer to that question is the maturity that exists now in the marketplace from solution providers like Zaelab. And so our implementation methodology and technology experience and the IP that we've built to deploy Hybris faster in the cloud really lets us get the solution to market in a very short time frame. And so based upon some of those factors and our implementation experience, that also enables SMBs to get it to market at a reasonable implementation cost in a very short time period. So those would be the two primary drivers behind why SAP Hybris is starting to make much more sense for an SMB retailer.
Oh, okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and we have a question here, which is, will Zaelab be attending the SAP Sapphire event in Orlando? And the answer is absolutely yes. We will be attending the SAP Sapphire event in Orlando. We also will have a presentation with our customers there at Sunny's Direct. So I encourage everyone to look that session up with Sunny's Direct and kind of come learn how a B2B manufacturer, SMB mid-sized B2B manufacturer, was able to launch SAP Hybris in a 4-month time frame. And Seema, I had a quick question for you. Can you share more about the focus that SAP has placed on the SMB? I know you mentioned, which was a shocking number to me, that 80% of SAP customers are SMBs, which is, I don't think a lot of people are aware of. But can you mention any other initiatives that are happening around the SMB space and the focus that SAP is placing on the SMB sector?
Absolutely. SMB has been a big focus within SAP for quite some time, so it is not new. There are a lot of products like SAP All-in-One, Business by Design. These were all solutions that were focused for SMB. And you will see some of those new innovations that were focused on SMB. They're all available in cloud. They're all available in on-premise. They could be combined where you can have an SMB solution which is running on-premise and have another SMB solution that is running on cloud. And both of those deployments could be in the same system. So hybrid deployment is also available. And from Hybris portfolio perspective, so we already have full Commerce Suite, we have a Commerce Edge solution, we also have Commerce in Cloud that is already out. We will have Edge solution coming up as a cloud offering as well in next quarter, so stay tuned for that. So new innovations in SMB solutions, services, as well as deployments is a continuous focus within SAP Hybris and overall SAP.
Great. Thank you very much for that, Seema. We have a couple of other questions that have come in. First of those questions is, from a technology perspective, can you discuss the difference between Magento and a Java solution like SAP Hybris? And so, really great question from the audience. When you compare something like PHP to Java, certainly both languages are quite mature and quite capable. The real differentiator between Java and PHP, which Magento is based on, is that Java is generally considered a more stable and more enterprise and secure language. And so, because PHP is open source, people can access the source code and it could generally be conceived as more vulnerable, to security issues. So, Java, as I mentioned, is generally considered more enterprise-oriented, more secure, and more scalable. And since these are the underlying technologies of both these different platforms, these are things that have to be considered very carefully. The next question we had was, does Zaelab own any ERP integrations specifically for SAP ByDesign? Very good question. Zaelab has integrated multiple times with ByDesign in previous projects. So we definitely have assets available that integrate with SAP ByDesign. And that's certainly information which we can go ahead and at the end of this, the next slide, we'll have our contact information, which I'll just put up now. But feel free to reach out to us there if you'd like to find out more about our ByDesign integrations. And then there was one more question here. Just thank you for the presentation, and asking if we're going to be publishing this presentation. So the answer is yes. As we mentioned, this presentation is being recorded, and so we most certainly will be sharing this on YouTube, and we will go ahead and email that out to all of the attendees that have registered for this webinar. So our contact information is here. One of the other things I thought we would mention is that, the proof is obviously in the pudding here. And, we would be happy to work with any prospects that have Magento today and set up a free 30-day environment for them, and also migrate their data from Magento to Hybris, so that we can show them their website up and running in the platform. So if this is of interest to anyone on the call, please feel free to reach out to me directly at any of the methods below. Certainly my email is evan@zaelab.com, which is the fastest and most direct way to reach me. But our website and our phone number all lead here as well. So feel free to use that. And I think we have one other question here. Outside of license costs, what other concerns do prospective merchants have about going with SAP other than Magento? So example, operating costs. So the question here is really, what other costs exist outside of the migration costs? And that's a really good question. So one of the offers we've had to reduce the operating costs for SMBs is our Amazon Web Services offering. So almost all of our customers today that are deploying SAP Hybris solutions are doing that with us on the cloud in a fully managed environment. And since we're using a shared resources and IP that we've built over time, this operating cost is significantly decreased for the customer because it is in the cloud. And so we definitely, if that's something of interest, we can definitely, work with our SMB customers to make sure that the operational costs are better than most other platforms out there, given our ability to leverage the cloud. Okay. And I think that I have another question here. And so we got another question about some of our other conversion kits, which are going to be launched later this year for Oracle ATG, as well as IBM WebSphere and Demandware. And the question was, is the migration going to take approximately the same time, about 90 days? And the answer is absolutely that's a great question. The answer is yes. All of the underlying conversion technology that we've licensed is essentially the same. So for us, once we make the investment to be able to use Demandware as a source data set that quickly converts to Magento, there's absolutely no cost to rerun that execution, and it happens in the same time frame. So when we launch our Oracle, our IBM, and our Demandware conversion kits, that's going to be the same nature. It's going to be a single click of a button, and it's going to take a matter of minutes to migrate all data, and that migration can be completed multiple times. So thank you very much for that question. And I think that brings us to the end of the question list here. So I wanted to, Seema, is there anything else you would like to add to the audience before we wrap up a little early here?
No, I think we're good to go. Good questions, and as you said, if there are any follow-up questions, we'd be happy to help and connect with us at Sapphire and ASAC. So hope to see you all there.
Thank you, everybody, for your time and for joining the webinar. Look for the recorded version available out there, and we might be having more of these as we get to release some of the other conversion kits. But I really appreciate your time, and I hope everybody has a great week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.